Yo guys, I'm Yellow, the Norwegian hardcore PC gamer, and today I figure that we should cover a lot of subjects. Quickly, at the start, I'll cover what I did during the summer, then I will cover the new pistols and changes that are related to the money game, which I'm honestly pretty stoked about. And then I'll talk a bit about what kind of preparations and technical changes that I've done in real life that will allow us to learn a lot more about esport type games, CSGO, but primarily also kind of how to set up proper esport games and benchmarking them and smaller interesting things about that. And so let's start then with number one, and that is what I did during the summer. I do, though, enjoy to have a private life, so I won't mention anything other than that I was, for a period, not even at home. I did some interesting hardcore chores, if that makes any sense. Nonetheless, though, I did adult stuff, and I had a good time, and now I don't feel as burnt out from CSGO as I were even after the summer vacation, okay? Just like, seriously, I pounded CSGO to death, so taking an extended break feels pretty good, because when you farm CSGO, you're just gonna fucking burn out, get burned out. Like, eventually you get bored of almost anything, which is where you have to supplement your life with other games. I played Melee, and so getting actually good at the Melee, or Smash Melee, you can fucking Google it. I play Yoshi, he's incredibly difficult, okay? But seriously, it's a competitive game, it has an incredibly high skill ceiling. That is basically what I've been doing for a long time right now, aside from obviously adult things. That's how adult life works. Now, let's hit on those pistols, shall we? Or rather, let's hit somebody 95 in the head with a P250 up close. I fucking love that, okay? I'm just gonna be blunt, probably getting the video demonetized. And there I jinxed it too, who the hell knows. But fact of the matter is that CSGO since CSGO was made, its economy have been trash. Honestly, objectively, it's been tactical garbage. Honestly, if I were Valve, I would be embarrassed having a game be out for this long and they've not done anything to the game's core mechanics regarding the money game. Because after all, that is one of the most important and intricate yet depending factors to a CS player, aside from skill, aside from what you can do with your abilities, and aside from your teamwork. Being able to have an economy that makes sense so that you can tactically make sound decisions instead of just gambling every single fucking round and pray to Lord Gaben that your RNG bullets will give you a kill because the bullet of the damage of the bullets is powerful enough. Like, that's just madness. And that madness have been played again and again and again by really good teams. Honestly, it's obviously their fault, but eventually Valve understood that, you know what, it is bullshit that a P250 can, like, you can shoot 3 bullets, kill 3 guys. They have the best gear in the game. The guy literally bought something for $300 and somehow he's supposed to win that fight. It's pure madness. Luckily, Valve have made the P250 a lot worse. I'm not sure if it's implemented at this moment, but Valve has also made it so that you don't flinch as much anymore when you do not have armor. So the Glock, for example, in pistol rounds is now a bit more interesting to use when you're going for headshots and whatnot. And that's also aside from how the Tech 9 and the 5.7 have been changed. The Tech 9 still being possible to use, but it's kind of crazy, so you have to really practice with it if you want to be able to do something more interesting. And all in all, the pistols changes, I am in favor of them. They are kind of the dot over the I of getting like your money system as Valve making this game in check. The first couple of puzzle pieces were to make sure that the CC is not insane. Now it's kind of just insane, really up close. Today, really, I just ran out and destroyed a guy, and he was like doing everything he could with that poor FAMAS. Sad guy, getting wrecked anyways, so there you go. But for long range and mid range and all that sort of stuff, if you play the game properly now, there are gonna be far less guns that will outright annihilate you, and that is pretty awesome. Yeah, sure, it's kind of crazy that you can one-shot snipe somebody with a P250 if that sniper guy you want to shoot do not have hit armor, but seriously, it kind of makes the guns interesting as well, and so I think that Valve have hit that sweet spot in that kind of avenue, and also they hit the sweet spot in the context of CSGO when it comes down to how broken a weapon is or not. But yeah, aside from that though, if you guys really want to master these guns and figure out how they work, I would honestly not recommend you to focus on the digits and the numbers and how they work. Instead, I would recommend you to go out there, make sure that your intuition is the one learning instead, and practice these guns. Make sure that you get a feel for how they work, and make sure that you make sure that you know what weapon that you want to use as well, naturally. Now, let's hit on some other things instead, about the behind-the-scenes preparations. So not only have I as of late upgraded my PC in a couple of big ways, but I have dug out all of my older GPUs, all the way back to the 4870, Sadly, I think the previous GPUs, I think actually, yeah, I had an NVIDIA one. I think it died, so that's kind of sucky. Obviously, I threw that away. No, actually, I lost it. There we go, that's the story of it. Oh, the hell, that's a fucking crazy story. I might as well tell that another time, because that's actually wild. But the point, though, is that I've dug up all of these GPUs all the way back to the 4870 one, and I've tested them on CSGO and a lot of other esport games with esport settings. Yes, no other fucking review site ever actually do that shit properly, and it drives me mad. Okay? Just making that very, very apparent. Almost no reviewers ever know how to properly benchmark an esport game. And that is because they think that putting everything on regular low is going to be good. And then they pull down the resolution, or they don't. I mean, they're all over the place. And none of them know what the fuck they're doing. Believe me, I've been watching these guys do bullshit ever since the start of this year. And it's driving me nuts. So I figure that, you know what? If these guys are shit at doing the job, maybe I should do it for them. Which I will, and so in the future you'll see a couple of very interesting detailed videos about different GPUs in different price brackets and with obviously different age limits, or age in general as well. You'll see how they will perform in the games like CSGO, a little bit of H1Z1 as well, but also other different tasks in CSGO and places in CSGO that will give you a fair picture of how good these tools are for your frame rate needs. And honestly, I wish that somebody would do this earlier, but here I am. I'm delayed, but I'm still before all of them. So that's kind of hilarious, I think. But you guys will probably appreciate that, and will also give you guys some pretty good leads towards what kind of frame rate limit you're looking for, and what kind of, I guess you could say, price bracket you can master, if that makes any sense. Aside from that, though, I also want to point out that I have been able to grab myself a new phone again, which is pretty good. This one is like last year's Samsung or something, and it allows me to record at 240 FPS slow motion. That will allow me to do proper frame testing at different settings regarding frame delay from when I click to when something happens. The point of that exercise will be to give us a proper result of, let's say we compare an old PC to a new PC, and we get to see, even if you put in most of the same hardware, if there's going to be a significant input delay from hardware A to hardware B. We could test GPUs, motherboards, and to some degree CPUs, but that is going to be kind of irrelevant because you can just change the CPU anyways, as in downclock it, for example. So I will not focus too much on the CPU part. I will, however, make some videos that are highly gaming science related in that sense as well, and they will land eventually. I've never done this before, so it's going to be wonky to do as well, but I want to make sure that it's good when it's get dropped as well, now when I'm not burned out. And so all in all, yeah, I got a fuck ton of stuff to do. Hopefully you guys will stick around for the ride, and if you do want to do that, like the video, make sure that you do not get unsubscribed, because YouTube is merciless in that sense, which is fucking weird, and support the channel through Patreon if you feel like. If you don't, that's completely fine. Here are 2 related videos if you want to get smarter or better at CSGO. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, and don't get beastyfied when you play.